what is the picture I can paint for myself economically and डेवलपमेंट के हिसाब से कि भाई मोदी के भारत के अंदर अगले 5 साल में ये होने वाला है, ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं, आप इसका फ़ायदा ले सकते हो.
So, what I can foresee in the next 5 and 10 years, because हम तो 47 तक लगे हुए हैं.
अलाउड है वैसे, कर सकते हैं ऐसा
क्या
कि भाई मोदी जी को 4th टाइम भी लेके आए, अलाउड है वैसे?
मैंने देश की बात की है. हम देश को बनाने के लिए 47 तक लगे, क्योंकि 47 तक हमारा लक्ष्य है कि विकसित भारत बने. माध्यम उसका बीजेपी ही बनेगी, और अगले 5 साल के लिए माध्यम उसके नरेंद्र मोदी ही है. तो उसमें हम लोग 2 चीज़ें मैं आपको स्पष्ट तरीके से बोल सकता हूँ. वन थिंग विच आई हैव हर्ड प्राइम मिनिस्टर आर्टिकुलेट वेरी वेल इज दैट देयर आर 2 sections of people. One section that is very comfortable in their life, that doesn't want interference of government in their life. They want कि भाई हमारे लाइफ में इंटरफेयर, बेडरूम में, बिजनेस में, कामकाज में, डेली लाइफ में गवर्नमेंट इंटरफेरेंस ना हो. और दूसरा वो सेक्शन है जिसको गवर्नमेंट का इंटरफेस चाहिए, बिकॉज दे आर एट दैट कस्प वेयर दे आर जस्ट अबव पॉवर्टी, बट दे नीड हैंड होल्डिंग टू रीच टू अ सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ एस्पिरेशन and certain level of living, so that then they can take off and enter the middle class. So where the class does not require interference of government, removing government from their lives, and where the class requires interface of government, having interface of government using technology so that it is quick, efficient, and it is transparent delivery of public services to that class. This is something that you can look forward to. So I'm not talking only about you specifically, but I'm telling you the overall roadmap is that less government, less interference.
How would you do that? Like, how do you remove government from people's lives? Non-intrusive कैसे बनाओगे आप government
For
presence
instance,
को?
that there were many penalties that were imposed on small infractions in companies law. यार ये कर दिया तो उसमें जेल, वो कर दिया. अरे आप बिजनेस शुरू कर रहे हो, कंपनीज लॉ के तहत आपको काम करना है.
बड़ा भारी जीएसटी भी पे करते हैं यार हम लोग.
नहीं, जीएसटी, नो, दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. दैट्स टैक्सेशन. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द सिस्टम. When a person is starting a business, you can't treat him like a gangster or a criminal.
Sure.
So if there is something, chalo, he violates a particular rule, you can take a fine and finish it off. Why make a penal provision that you send him to jail? तो उसको decriminalize करना. Unnecessary compliances, 40,000 compliances मोदी जी ने हटा दिए, 1500 पुराने कानून हटा दिए. And going forward, we need to ensure that the entrepreneurial spirit of this country, intellectual spirit and talent of this country is not hindered or is not bound by these unnecessary restrictions and regulations. देखो, government should not be pervasive. Government should be there कि भाई big picture, macro picture पे है, ये आप कर रहे हो सब कुछ लॉ के हिसाब से, आप अपना टैक्स वैक्स भर रहे हो, करो भाई. Government encourages. Government should not be hindering you. So that ways you have to make the laws simplistic, simplify them, decriminalize them wherever it's possible. If somebody is breaking the law, if somebody is doing corruption, obviously they cannot be spared. But this interference and making things complicated, so we have ensured that the complications and even small things like digital filings, that helps somebody to file for their patent.
Wouldn't you say that's for like just getting more citizen data and more surveillance? मैं तो डिजी यात्रा यूज़ करता हूँ एयरपोर्ट पर जाके, सही लगता है. मुझे लगता है गवर्नमेंट में मेरा चेहरा भी है. मैं कल कुछ
आपको डिजी यात्रा पे फोर्स थोड़ी कर रहा है, मत जाओ डिजी यात्रा से.
बड़े सारे लोग बड़ी
खड़े रहो
problems
लाइन
हैं.
में.
वही तो बात है. It's like you leave no options, no. I have to bow down.
आपका इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट है?
बिल्कुल है.
फेसबुक अकाउंट है?
हाँ, that's not my point. That's not my point. I'm saying.
नहीं, एक सेकंड
भाई अब गवर्नमेंट भाई मेरा आधार भी बनवा रही है, फिर और कार्ड भी बनवा रही है. आप बोल रहे हो कि डेटा कलेक्शन हो रही है. हाँ,
सोशल मीडिया पे आप अपना पूरा बायो में सिंगल है, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है,
मैं मना नहीं कर
कलर
रहा
क्या
हूँ, मना नहीं
पसंद
कर
है,
रहा हूँ.
खाना किधर खा रहे, फोटो क्या लगा रहे, वीडियो क्या
देखो सर,
लगा
मेरा
रहे,
तो ये
रील
काम
बना
नहीं है,
के
मैं तो
डाल रहे, वो
करता
सब
हूँ.
ठीक है.
मैं वो नहीं कह रहा. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इंक्रीजिंगली हम एक सर्वेलेंस स्टेट की तरफ तो नहीं जा रहे. ये खतरा लोगों को लगता है.
नहीं, अगेन वी आर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल the information that you're giving is information that is protected. It is protected. Now we have a Data Privacy Act also, and it is, nobody can toy around with your data. Of course, there will be certain instances where sometimes there might be an attempt to breach somebody's privacy,
Sure.
but we need to have that legal system to penalize that person, make an example of the institution if it breaches somebody's data, whether it's a government organization, whether it's a it's a state sector, institution, then we need to take them to task so that they don't take citizens' data or privacy lightly. I agree with that, and that is what we need to keep building upon our laws and regulations for that, so that individuals and citizens' privacy is safeguarded. In fact, the entire social media regulation mechanism that we've come up with is actually so that social media websites are accountable to a body, so that they don't trivialize or play around with citizens' privacy and data, and that citizens have a recourse to that. So I wouldn't agree with that. But what I was trying to largely come at is that there are places where government can withdraw from to make lives of citizens easier in terms of doing their business or in terms of unleashing their creative powers. I think that's the area where there can be less government, and there has to be more government in terms of social welfare or social cushioning for sections that need that hand holding. For instance, somebody is at the just above poverty line, but they need to be given good schooling, good education, good healthcare, etc. Not necessarily by the government running hospitals, but by the government ensuring them that they have a healthcare cover, so that their money or resources are spent on, say, ensuring better facilities for their child, or a better standard of living, so that they have that protection, and then bringing them up to the middle class.
You want to move more people out of poverty so that we become a developed country. That's the plan.
The bigger, then that will be the market. Right? If you take people out of poverty, the more consuming power they have, you see, then the people who are manufacturing in India, or the people who are providing services in India, have such a huge audience and section of people to cater to, that we don't need to necessarily look outside, but we have this huge audience that has a huge consumption power. So that is truly the way to kind of to grow the pie rather than redistribute. Redistribution is stupid. It's not working anywhere. It's not worked in communist countries.
No, it's a completely flawed idea. I agree with you.
It's stupid. It's only a recipe for corruption, and it's a recipe for disaster, and it's not worked anywhere, and it's not even pragmatic, and it's only being said as rhetoric. The right way to do it, and as most successful countries have done it, is to the bottom of the pyramid needs to be supported so that they can participate in the growth story, while ensuring that the growth story for others is not disturbed. And why should we criminalize somebody being rich? I am not saying that one should be ostentatious. I'm against ostentation myself. I don't believe in it. But if somebody has worked hard and has started a startup and now it's become a unicorn, are we going to look down upon that unicorn and say that, boss, now redistribute your unicorn money and give it to somebody who doesn't deserve it, who's not willing to work? So I don't agree with that, and I think that will only drive away talent from the country. It will drive away investment from the country. Give them the opportunity to grow, and give the bottom of the pyramid the opportunity to participate in this story, and give them opportunities to move up the ladder. That's the real way that India can grow and become an economy that is a developed economy in the next few years.
If you can't watch a full podcast, watch a clip instead. You'll be as entertained and as informed. That's my guarantee. That's why you gotta subscribe to Dostcast Clips.